August 4th, 1892, began as a seemingly ordinary Thursday in Fall River, Massachusetts, but it quickly became one of the most horrifying mornings in American history. Andrew J. Borden, a wealthy and notoriously frugal businessman, 70, and his second wife, Abby Durfee Gray Borden, 64, were found brutally murdered in their home, bludgeoned to death with a sharp instrument resembling a hatchet or axe. The person who first discovered a body was Lizzie Andrew Borden, Andrew's 32-year-old daughter from his first marriage. She claimed to have found her father's lifeless body sprawled on the sofa in the sitting room. Shortly after, her stepmother was found dead in the guest bedroom on the second floor. Both victims had been repeatedly struck. Abby Borden suffered 19 blows, and Andrew Borden between 10 to 11 blows. The case immediately became national news, and Lizzie Borden, who was reportedly the only person besides the maid, Bridget Sullivan, present in the house, quickly became the primary suspect. The Bordens were a well-to-do family in Fall River, yet their household harbored significant underlying tensions. Andrew Borden was wealthy, but was known for his extreme frugality, to the extent that their affluent home lacked modern indoor plumbing, unlike many other wealthy residences of the era. The relationship between Lizzie and her stepmother, Abby, was cold and strained. Lizzie and her older sister, Emma, never fully accepted Abby and frequently argued with both their father and stepmother over financial matters and property. Tensions escalated, particularly when Andrew Borden began transferring some real estate to Abby, further fueling the daughter's resentment. There were even unconfirmed reports that Lizzie had attempted to purchase prussic acid, a poison, the day before the murders, claiming it was for cleaning a fur cape, but the pharmacist reportedly refused to sell it to her. While these pieces of information were largely circumstantial, they painted a picture of deep-seated conflict that may have led to the bloodshed. The investigation into the Borden murders was challenging and widely criticized for its shortcomings from the outset. Police in the 1800s lacked modern forensic knowledge, leading to a poorly managed crime scene where crucial evidence was potentially contaminated or lost. The key evidence presented in the case was largely circumstantial. Time of death. It was determined that Abby Borden died approximately 90 minutes to 2 hours before Andrew, suggesting the perpetrator was in the house for a significant period between the two killings. No forced entry. All doors in the house were reportedly locked from the inside, with no signs of forced entry, suggesting the crime was an inside job. The found axe/hatchet, an axe head with a broken handle, was found in the basement, believed to be the murder weapon. The handle was missing, which the prosecution speculated was deliberately broken off to remove bloodstains. However, none of these tools were immediately removed from the house for proper analysis. Burned dress. Several days after the murders, Lizzie was alleged to have burned a dress in a stove, claiming it was old and stained with paint. However, witnesses noted Lizzie was seen wearing a blue dress on the day of the murders. Conflicting testimonies. Lizzie's own statements to the police during the inquest were inconsistent and changed multiple times, raising significant suspicion about her honesty. She appeared erratic and often contradicted herself. Despite the considerable circumstantial evidence pointing towards Lizzie, there was no direct physical evidence, such as eyewitness testimony or fingerprints, directly linking her to the murder weapon or the crime. Lizzie Borden was arrested and indicted for the murders of both her father and stepmother on August 11, 1892. Her trial began in June 1893 and became a national phenomenon. Thousands across the country followed the proceedings closely, with newspapers running daily headlines, often emphasizing the brutality of the crime and the perceived incredulity that a respectable and well-regarded woman like Lizzie Borden could commit such an act. Lizzie Borden's defense team worked diligently. They argued that there was no direct physical evidence connecting Lizzie to the crime and effectively questioned the reliability of several pieces of circumstantial evidence. Furthermore, they heavily emphasized Lizzie's image as a devout and respectable lady, arguing that it was inconceivable for someone of her background to commit such gruesome acts. On June 20th, 1893, after a trial lasting over a week, the all-male jury deliberated for only about an hour and a half before delivering their verdict. Lizzie Borden was found not guilty on all charges. The acquittal sent shockwaves across the nation. Despite being legally absolved, in the eyes of much of the public, Lizzie largely remained the prime suspect. Despite her acquittal, Lizzie Borden became a social outcast in Fall River. She and her sister, Emma, moved to a larger house in another part of town, but they remained under public scrutiny and led largely reclusive lives. Lizzie Borden lived the rest of her life in Fall River, dying on June 1st, 1927, never marrying and never publicly revealing what truly happened that day. The Borden family murders remain officially unsolved. No other person was ever charged or held accountable for the deaths of Andrew and Abby Borden. The infamous, chilling children's rhyme continues to circulate in American popular culture, solidifying Lizzie Borden's place in folklore. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. While the actual number of blows was fewer than the rhyme suggests, it vividly captures the public's enduring fascination with the case. The legend of the axe in the hand of a young woman and the persistent question of whodunit remain a dark piece of American lore, a testament to the fact that some crimes may never find a clear and universally accepted resolution.